as you know, I've been working with two other stations, one in San Francisco and one in New York, about the issues plaguing Bombardier, and it seems there are echoes in each of these cities of problems with Bombardier. New York, for example, has just shut Bombardier out of a major contract because of past performance. San Francisco is also dealing with a huge number of issues and delays in their project, and we know very well here in Toronto the issues that have plagued Toronto streetcars. So my first question to you is, why would any city want to do business with Bombardier, given the history that's shown just in these three cities alone?
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity today to address these issues. Bombardier itself, Bombardier Transportation particularly, cannot be identified or defined by just isolated projects. When you look at what we are as a company globally, we have the largest customer base in the world. We have 500 customers in over 70 countries in the world. We have 100,000 vehicles in service each and every day that carry over 500 million people every day. So we have high quality vehicles moving cities across the world. And the issue of projects that have challenges is not something that is simply a question of Bombardier. It is a reality, unfortunately, of our entire industry, and especially in North America.
Well, I acknowledge that you do have many vehicles on the road at this point, but that is your past, and it seems your present is a failure to be able to deliver them on time.
We have, Bombardier Transportation has over 200 projects that are ongoing today across the world. We're delivering cars in 200 projects across the world, and all of those projects do have their level of challenges, but we are delivering on almost all of them directly in terms of the delivery schedule that we should have. And for us, when we look at either San Francisco, New York, or Toronto, in each and every of those jurisdictions, we have had challenges, like all other suppliers in our business have challenges. But what we at Bombardier have taken as a stance is we've acknowledged these issues and we've turned around our operations. We've put in place all of the actions to improve. And Toronto is one of the best examples where we've seen a huge shift in the performance of where we are. And at the end of the day, when we deliver the cars, when we get to the entire fleet that has been delivered, they are of the highest quality, of the lowest operation costs for our customers, and they deliver reliability and great service for people going to work each and every day.
And yet Toronto is looking at alternate suppliers for the future. I mean, under the original contract, we should have 178 streetcars in Toronto by the end of this year. It's been revised multiple times. We were supposed to have 70, and just a couple of weeks ago, it's been downgraded to 65. I think people have run out of tolerance for delays and excuses.
If you look at the city of Toronto, it is one of the best examples of the turnaround plan that we put in place. The turnaround plan has brought results. It has yielded results. We've expanded our production line in Thunder Bay. We've gone from a 5-day to a 7-day-a-week work schedule. We've invested millions of dollars in our sites in terms of tooling, in terms of training. We've hired hundreds of new workers, and it has yielded results. We've more than doubled the rate of delivery from last year to this year. And right now we are on track to deliver all 204 streetcars in Toronto by the original contract deadline, not any revised one. By the original contract deadline, we are on track. And one great example of this is the Toronto Rocket. If you look at the Toronto Rocket, at the beginning, at the outset of the project, it had its own issues in terms of deliveries. There were challenges there. But we were able to deliver the entire fleet with just a few months of delays over a 9-year span. And today, it is one of the top cars in terms of performance in the world. What TTC itself has called the best subway cars in its history.
Yes, but again, that is the history. We're talking about the presence, and you say you are on track to complete this contract, and yet you've just had another delay. Granted, only 5 streetcars, but it is still another delay, which wears at your credibility.
The Toronto Rocket is not history. It is, the last car was delivered just a few months ago. It is the present. It is the actions that we've taken to make sure that at the end of the day, when we deliver a project, we own up to it. We feel the frustration that the people may have. And this is not the result to which we've worked towards, and it's not the result to which we will accept. And that is why we've done everything to make sure that we've turned it around. And right now, if you look at any metrics of our performance, we are on track to be able to deliver the entire fleet by the original contract deadline.
Are other cities suffering, like New York, like San Francisco, because you're trying to put all your resources into Toronto and save the contract?
Absolutely not. On the contrary, what we're looking at is leveraging the resources of our manufacturing footprint in the United States, in Mexico, and in Canada. We have expertise. We have 3 manufacturing sites in Canada. We have 2 in the United States. We have 2 in Mexico. And what we're doing is bringing and leveraging all of that manufacturing footprint to be able to really accelerate deliveries and to be able to use the best expertise in all of our sites to deliver as quickly as possible, because what we want to do is deliver high quality cars as quickly as possible, and that's what we're not shying away from, and that's what we're doing right now.
So I have some notes from San Francisco on some of the issues and challenges they've been facing. According to them, under the original contract, by the end of this year, commuters would get 60 new cars. Now they're hoping to get just over 35 of the new cars, so roughly half. And, you know, the first test car arrived 3 months late. The next month, BART crashed it, citing electrical problems with the test car. It seems like this contract is equally plagued.
The contract in San Francisco, first off, we have to understand that there are elements in our agreements with our customer in San Francisco and in New York that preclude us from going into details publicly of the issues that we're facing. But what I can say is, yes, the test cars have just completed their qualification testing, and just next week we'll be having the certification by our customer to put the cars in service and start delivering the production cars as soon as this month. And so they'll be in service right now. And yes, we do have challenges, but as I said, it is not something that is proper to Bombardier. It is unfortunately something that is common in the industry, because what's important to understand, especially in San Francisco, is this is the first time in 40 years that the city of San Francisco has bought new rolling stock for its subway system. And in our industry, unlike the automobile industry, each and every rail car is something that is made to order. Each and every customer has its specific needs. Each and every customer has its specific infrastructure. And so each and every car, we're going, unfortunately, from often a blank page and going towards using all of the expertise that we develop all across the world and really building that car to order to the specific needs of the customer. And so we have to put in place a new supply chain. We have to put in an industrial plan that fits the needs of this customer. And so for us, each and every time we're doing this project, it represents risk, but trusting a company like Bombardier that has the expertise, that has the global footprint and the global experience of meeting customers' needs is something that is important for a customer, because, as I said, at the end of the day, the cars are delivered. The cars over a 9-year project. If you're looking for San Francisco, looking at a 3-month issue right now, this is a 9-year project. So 3 months over a 9-year span is something that does happen. It happens to each and every supplier in our industry. But what we're doing is doing everything we can to mitigate it in the short term and make sure at the end of the day, all of the cars are of the highest quality and offer the lowest cost of operation in the industry.
And yet, bottom line, are the problems not the issue of mismanagement? I mean, for the Toronto contract alone, several key players have been replaced over and over again.
Throughout our industry, it is something that is a factor for all railcar manufacturers. But for us, what we're able to do from a Bombardier standpoint is, for any issue, when we look at our manufacturing sites, when we look at our design, when we look at our engineering, we're able to pull on resources across the world. We're able to pull on expertise across North America, across the world, where we have the best experts that have shown, yes, in history, that they have been able to deliver on our projects. And that is something that we're doing across the world, not just in history, but in the present today.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some specific questions for San Francisco. What is the current timeline of deliveries of all 775 new cars for Bay Area rapid transit?
What we're looking at is to deliver all of the cars by Q4 of 2021, which would put us basically exactly in the time frame of the original contract, more or less over a 9-year span of the project. We're looking at about a 4-month difference.
And what do you attribute the delays to, behind the BART delays?
All of the elements in our industry, it is something that is not uncommon for any manufacturer. All manufacturers, your viewers could Google simply the word of any railcar manufacturer with the words delivery and delays. You will find examples. It is not something for which Bombardier is an outlier. For us, we've looked at all of the issues, and we, in our respect of our agreement with our customers, will not go and be at the liberty of saying specifically of the issues that we've faced. But for us, we've acknowledged with our customer and with the public, we've shared the frustration of our customers, and what we're doing is really delivering the entire fleet as quickly as possible.